All right, so we going. Yo, this is another edition of Tapped In with Tom Flies. I am Tom Flies. You may know me from my podcast, Literally Speaking Podcast, Gossip of the City, various work. Here another edition. I have the lovely GiGi Maguire with me. How you doing, GG? I don't know if you want to introduce yourself or.
Um, Hello, first of all. I am GiGi Maguire, aka Miss Show Me the Money, formerly known as your favorite stripper's favorite stripper. You know what I'm saying? These days, you might catch me on the OnlyFans, bringing a little razzle dazzle to the internet. You know, you might catch me on Angela Yee's Lip Service podcast, award-winning podcast. We on year number 6 right now.
Yeah, definitely. I gotta applaud y'all too because I was gonna say earlier, y'all podcast got me through a lot of overnight shifts at work.
Oh yeah.
Told me a lot about just how what women prefer and what women like in the bedroom, and how it's sometimes that as men we don't be comfortable sharing certain stuff publicly.
Listen, lip service is a judgment-free zone, and we are out here with our platform trying to help. We are trying to bridge the gap between taboo and just normal sex and sexual fantasies and sexual, limitations and things that people like. We're definitely also here to bridge the gap between men and women, how men view things in the sexual manner versus how women or how men think women view things. You watch enough episodes to know that I'm always keep it 100 and good or bad, yeah. Same opinion or in different opinions, I'm always going to give you 100% of what I know and what I feel, and I'm normally speaking from experience.
Yeah.
So
That's why I always say I definitely appreciate y'all. Y'all was one of the very few when I first started listening to podcasts, because it was some people that contributed to my inspiration. Me actually start my own podcast. So I actually have the podcast too, going on about 5 years now.
That's dope.
Based in Philly. I've been nominated for Podcast of the Year 4 times. Officially just found out my 4th time last week.
Congratulations.
I won the award. Thank you. I won the award twice.
That's dope.
So you guys definitely contributed to it. I always say all the time, there's very few people. I say you guys. I was Joe Budden. I go Taxstone, Charlemagne. So those just more inspiration from just all walks of life and just different perspectives from people. So we always need that. And again, y'all have helped me get more comfortable being able to express the things that we do enjoy in the bedroom, outside the bedroom.
You're not the only one. Don't feel like a weirdo for liking some shit that you don't think everybody else like. Yeah, because guess what? You are not the only one. I promise you.
Oh, and I learned that. And that kind of, as me, it kind of like, well, damn, I'm not the only one that like, But as a guy, sometimes niggas and homies, now I'm like, bro, I don't really, we ain't really.
What you worried about them for?
Nah, we don't.
They shouldn't be worried about you and what you into and what you like. The only person that need to be worried about that besides you is the person that you involved in that situation with.
Precisely.
But over here sneezing together.
Guys get together and they talk and we converse amongst each other and we, just have certain conversations.
Yeah, because guess what I know? Niggas talk more than bitches these days. Okay.
Hey man, listen. A few times Drake was wrong. So very few times. So I definitely agree with that. But so yeah, you guys definitely and then you just figure, like I said, man, we talk and these niggas like we was brought up and raised certain shit just ain't cool. Certain shit just ain't manly, just being a man, whatever the fuck that's supposed to be.
Right.
So that's just how it went. But as you get older, you kind of grow out that phase. Like it's a bunch of like this childish mindset and mentality. So I worked past it, so we good now. I'm great. I express everything. I'm open as hell on my podcast.
Listen, I am happy to hear that we was helpful to your situation in any way, and that we influenced you in any way, because that's what we do it for. Each one teach one.
Yeah.
Sharing is caring, and communication is the key to all success and happiness. So, we just try to put that out there that it's okay. It's good.
So guys, listen, guys, I'm telling you, it's cool. My niggas gonna watch this too. I'm like, well, damn, Tom, listen, bro. Listen. I don't know what's listening. I'm open.
It's all good.
So explain to me though how has that been though? Just becoming like you said, you guys are going to your 6th year in podcast. I know you probably didn't see or envision that, like you being into, because now you're like a part of the media now, basically. Like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, blue check verified. You know what I'm saying? I finally got that K. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly.
But let me see. Initially, I've always had like a very open personality. Me being a dancer, that's something that I never hid behind. That's something that I always got directly in front of and, put it out there. It is what it is. This is my grind. I'm talented. I'm smart enough and strong enough to be able to make this happen. And, that's kind of where my popularity, so to say, started. Um, Angela became a good friend of mine over a decade ago. And prior to her doing The Breakfast Club with Power, she had lip service as a show on Sirius. So she was already, having the show. She had to put it on pause though when she started working for The Breakfast Club. So, when the podcast thing rolled around and she decided to bring lip service back as a podcast and also add a permanent roster of co-hosts, it was a no-brainer that I was one of her first choices. And it's because not only of the relationship that we have in my background, but the fact that she knows what I'm going to bring. She knows that I'm going to be 100% honest, that I have all of this experience that I love to speak on and share. I'm also, very open with my opinions and, that whole thing. So we did, when we first started, it was like September 2014. And I would tell people like, I have this new show. I'm on a podcast with Angela Yee. And they would be like, what's a podcast? Like nobody even knew what a podcast was. I used to have to explain like, oh, it's kind of like internet radio, but is it live? No, it's pre-recorded. Like, right. And we were only audio at first. Like we didn't get to visual until we really started taking it like really like serious.
Yeah, I remember those days, 2015.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Yeah, 2015, exactly. So, excuse me. I always knew that we had a good thing going. Like our chemistry is amazing. Believe it or not, I met Stephanie the first episode. That was my first, me and Angela. That was our first day meeting Stephanie.
Yeah.
Angela was, Stephanie was recommended to Angela by a good friend, a mutual friend of the both of them. And me and Angela, of course, already had our friendship, but Stephanie, the first day we met her was when we interviewed August Alsina. That was our very first episode. And that was our very first day meeting Stephanie. And you would never know. Like the way that we meshed from that very first day, Angela was like, that was a good choice. I think that we should just roll with this. And, we just, sometimes it's just meant to be, the puzzle pieces came together perfectly. And, our energy and our vibes and, we have so much in common with each other, but also are individuals in our own right. So it just meshed. And then L'Oreal came along. We were also already friends with L'Oreal. And she came along initially as a producer. She was helping produce the show. And sometimes she would sit in when one of us couldn't make it.
I remember she would be like in and out sometimes. She would be
most of that started in 2015 when I was in Philly managing at Vanity Grand. There was sometimes that I couldn't make it to New York to do the show. So L'Oreal would sit in. And, that became a thing. It became a rotation. And then Stephanie went to New York for a whole year and was gone, and L'Oreal set in. And then when Stephanie came back, it's just like, we might as well just keep all of us, and I think that in the past, when Angela had the show on the internet radio, it was good. And it was, good to see different personalities and the way that they rotated out their co-hosts. But I think that having a fixed panel of co-hosts, it just makes it more uniform. It makes it more repetitive. And I think it's just perfect. Like I don't even feel like it's work. Like I'm kicking it with my homegirls, talking shit.
Exactly.
Drinking, getting to know somebody that, everybody wants to get to know, having those intimate conversations. And our interviews are never like a regular interview. And that's why, especially the guys love it so much. But like when it's a female, it's always girl talk, especially if it's somebody that we've already known prior to that day. The guys feel comfortable letting loose and sharing their little sexual secrets with us. So we can always get them to spill some tea or share a little something exclusive. So I mean, it's cool. It's a good thing. And I'm so grateful and appreciative for the relationships that I created through networking that allowed me to be in this position. That led to me moving to Atlanta. And now I just wrapped season 2 of Beyond the Pole on WeTV. And who knew that was going to happen?
Exactly. We're gonna touch more on that too. I do want to say, like you said, just the podcast doesn't feel like work at all. That's the glory, like how intimate podcasting is and how genuine it could be. It's not like a press run to like when artists come and sit down with y'all. It's like, yo, we can say what you want. It's no filter. Like you don't have to blur
Listen, we
stuff out.
smoke on set sometimes, depending
Exactly.
on who in the building. Like,
Exactly. Like, so it's just, you could be whoever you want to be. You could say whatever you want to say. And that's why I always kind of had like this admiration for podcasting early on too, back in like,
yeah, the gift and the curse of that is that everybody think that they can have one. Like,
don't get me
over the years, it's become very saturated, and anybody with a camera phone and a ring light can upload their show to YouTube or any platform. And now everybody got a podcast. And
listen, man, don't get me started. Yeah. But I
like
will
I
say
said, when I first started, nobody knew what a podcast was.
nobody.
Now everybody got a podcast. Hey,
Everybody.
L'Oreal got 4 shows. Well, she got 3 podcasts
L'Oreal be
and
working.
a radio show.
Y'all be working. I be seeing it. Y'all be working. But what I will
Yeah.
say is that if it's oversaturated, that kind of means that it's working. So that
Oh, absolutely.
it's definitely, the lane is definitely working compared to where it was 5 years ago, where you guys were at the kind of, I would say, like pioneers at the forefront, with a couple other people. And I was one of the people too that was like, you know what, like even here in Philly, I'm like, I'm gonna get in a podcast. And so I made my way up. I've worked with guys like Wallow, and how him and Gilly had their podcast now. So I worked with him before he actually got into it. He came through me. Big Fendi launched his podcast last year. I helped him launch his podcast. We actually got together on it and co-produced the stuff he did with me and Mike Tyson and stuff like that. So I kind of, like I said, I was early on it before it became like a thing actually. And it's just crazy to see like literally how much passion and that, like how dedication, the work we put in for it. And just see they just popping up out of nowhere, and people just come and they got it for like 2 months, and then they just go on about their business, and it is what it is. Like, but
Salute to those who could actually make it into a real thing. Salute to those who, have the content and build up the following, and really make it into something special.
exactly,
But
that's the time. But I trust me, we here with it, bro. Like I'm on the same page with it. I'm on the same page with it. So just has the transition been like, has it been difficult, like for you though, just like I said, just adapting and just like being like a figure like now in media, I guess.
It's not really difficult in any way. It's a little weird at times. I would say the weirdest thing would be when I'm out in public, the random people coming up to me, or it's like you never know when you walk into a room, any kind of room. If I walk into a Starbucks, if I walk into a gas station, if I walk into the Louis Vuitton store, if I walk in the ShopRite, like you never know when you walk into any room how many people in that room know exactly who you are. Like that's weird. Like I've had people like see me, maybe they follow me or they know of me, and they'll see me out, and then 3 hours later I'll get a tweet like, "Oh, I just saw GiGi Maguire at Target." Like you could have said hello, like hi, like speak. I speak back. I take pictures. Like I'm not one of them. The other thing has been, I will tell you one thing that has been difficult actually, and people may find this hard to believe, but dating has been very difficult since me becoming this public figure. And it's because a lot of times guys don't know how to approach me. I know there was a time when I was involved in a serious committed relationship, a very long relationship to say the least, but that's over.
Those episodes too.
Yeah, so that's over. It's been over since September of 2019. I've been in Atlanta, a month later, and I've been here and I've been single this entire time. And it's like I have a lot of like guy friends, like platonic relationships, bros, and they tell me all the time like, "Oh, this guy asks about you, that guy asks about you," but they always tell me like, guys are like somewhat intimidated or like they don't know how to approach me, and I'm just like, I'm a regular, like I know you might think that I'm something that you put me in this mind frame or on this pedestal of being a different type of female, but at the end of the day, yes, I'm still a female. So proceed with caution, but less small talk, more bag talk, like you know what I'm saying, like I don't know,
they get a perception from what they see and what they hear, and it's like I don't know how to approach her, and I guess they kind of see like how you move as a woman, and some guys are intimidated by it. Like you stand alone.
I mean, listen, I can do anything by myself. Okay. I can go anywhere by myself. I can travel by myself. I can take myself to dinner. I pay all my bills in my sleep. I can buy any shoe, any bag I want. I can go on any trip I want. So I don't really need a man to take care of me or to be there to provide for me or do anything for me, so to say. But I am going to gravitate more to those who are willing to do so, even though I don't need to do it.
Rightfully
you know
so.
what I'm saying? Like, again, less small talk, more bag talk.
Rightfully
like,
so.
you know, you should wanna come like this with it because you see how I'm carrying it. You know what I'm saying? Like you should come back first. That's how you should approach me.
Listen,
Like
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. Now,
because I got my own. So, you know,
are some guys
again,
some
I'm
guys
doing
do
it.
worry about like some stuff making it onto, like, have you ever had like any issues with like some stuff you may have said on the podcast and somebody may have heard it and was like, ah.
Well, I can say that I had a conversation. I don't remember what episode it was, but I had a conversation about a guy, and another guy thought I was talking about him, and he called me like, "Yeah, I heard you say ah," and I'm like, "Bro, I wasn't even talking about you. I was a whole nother nigga. Like, slow down, relax. You ain't the only nigga that got shot before. Like, relax."
Feelings.
I wasn't even talking about you. No, but he was like, he wasn't upset. He was hyped that I was talking about him.
Oh, he
but like,
was.
but I wasn't even talking about you, bro. Like, you hyped for nothing. Like, that was about a whole nother nigga.
That's always dangerous
Like,
too.
damn.
Being open, but at the same time, still gotta teeter the line to mention. So I've been in trouble plenty of times. I'm not even gonna say it too loud because she's actually here with me. But I've been
open, and can't nobody tell me nothing, because at the end of the day, I'm living my truth and I'm speaking my experience. And if you're so happy to be involved in that experience, then you know that's just the way of life. But I'm not telling your business. I'm telling my truth. So it is what it is at this point. And a lot of times, you know, I can. Lord knows, if I wanted to be a shady ass, shiesty ass bitch, I can definitely drop a few names. But we also know that I ain't even that type of person. Like, it's a secret society. All we ask is trust.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to put nobody business out there. So there has been instances where I told stories, and of course I'm not gonna tell y'all who it is. But yeah, they be knowing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. And niggas will listen, they get excited when they hear it too. Like, oh,
they be knowing sometimes.
the
The other thing that always comes to haunt me is when we talk about the guy who passed away from the heart attack.
Oh yeah, man. That was yeah, man. That's like a crazy ass way to go out. I'm not even gonna lie. That's like a crazy. I remember my first time listening to hearing the story. I'm like, well, damn, GG. Well, damn. Like, I didn't even know what else.
It is what it is. May he rest in peace.
Now, before I ask, with maybe your most memorable or your favorite episode, I do want to ask, stay on the topic of you saying you're single. How does a guy get the attention of GiGi Maguire? Like, what does he have to do? What does he have to look like? What does he have to say?
I'm not really the girl who goes straight for looks, so to say. I do have preferences, but it's not like only that and written in stone. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not in concrete, these preferences I have. However, getting my attention is not really hard. It's keeping it that they should be worried about, because I get bored fast, for one. For two, I feel like honesty. You know what men's problem is? Men have a problem with keeping it 100. Men have a problem with letting a woman know what it is and letting that woman decide if they want to be involved in said situation. Men have a problem with putting females into situations that they have no idea that they're involved in, and then acting crazy when shit hit the fan and the bitch found out was really good and now it's a problem. Like, what these men need to realize, that there are a lot of females out here, me included, that I'm not looking for no relationship. I just was with a man for over a decade of my life that took care of me and did everything up under the sun for me. I'm not looking to replace him right away. I'm not looking to replace him at all, because when you look, you never find. I'm just going to continue to be my best me, and what happens for me is going to happen for me. And in saying that, you know, guys always think that they gotta hide what they really got going on, aka the wife, the girlfriend, the baby mom, the side bitch, the old bitch, the young bitch, the bitch that they live with. Like, I got my own. Like, I got my own everything. I don't really need that much. And you know, I understand situations are situations and things change. So, you know, allow me to be the one to decide if I want to deal with you and you just had a baby by a bitch 2 months ago, because clearly y'all still fucking. You know what I'm saying? Like, men don't allow women to make that choice. They try to make that choice for them. And when in our reality, if you would have kept it 100 from jump, sky's the limit with a bitch like me. You don't know what I might be down with. But you chose to make that decision for me. And then that's when guys get it fucked up. Because keep it 100. Be honest.
It's hard to believe that a woman will actually be with this shit. If you say, be honest with me, just tell me what it is you want. Whatever it is, keep be upfront with me. and the guy tell you exactly what it is. Listen, yo, I honestly, I think you look good. I just want to fuck, whatever.
Let me ask you a question. When you see a girl out in public, or even on the gram or anywhere you see a woman, right? And you look at her, and in your mind you go, damn, I'm gonna try to get her number. What is your reason?
Oh, well, we all know. Listen, every guy just wants to have sex with you at first.
Yes.
Every guy.
Yes. You look at her, you see how she look, and you want to see how she feel. Exactly. Point blank, period. All that, oh, I want to get to know you. Oh, you so fine. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. No, you don't. You want to fuck. Exactly. You want to fuck.
But y'all be knowing that though.
Yeah, of course we know. And guess what? When we decide to give you the number and give you our time, it's because we gave you the once over and said, maybe I might let him. Maybe. Now you got to work. It's a possibility. When the girl gives you the number, best believe in her mind, she's already putting you in it's a possibility category that maybe she might give you some. It's up to you to make that happen. It's up for you to now do the right things to make her be like, all right, it's a go. Now that can take some time, or it can take a very short amount of time. It could take a long bag, or it could take a very small bag. But at the end of the day, fair exchange is no robbery. And if you keep it 100, then guess what? You never know what might happen. But these men out here, and then here's the other thing. They can dish it, but they can't take it. They want to have a whole buffet full of cheap ass food and a bunch of shit on their plate that they don't even need, but they don't want to spend that bag at Steak 48. They don't want to spend that bag on some real motherfucking 5-star cuisine. They don't want to spend that bag on a luxury dining experience. They'd rather have a bunch of goddamn Popeyes and McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's floating around fucking dirty ass goddamn French fries in the car. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas be hungry, they want something quick. That's all it be. It's just quick. Well, those niggas ain't for me.
Listen, I'm not mad at that. I'm just telling from a man perspective. Listen, some guys just can't believe that it's actually a positive. If I tell her the truth that this is actually what I want, I might jeopardize it altogether.
They want the motherfucking cake and the ice cream and the creme brulee and the goddamn tiramisu, and they don't want you to have nothing. Okay, they want to have 50,000 bitches, and they want you to accept the fact that they got 50,000 bitches, but you can only have them, and that's a problem. That's a problem.
It is a problem. I actually see women more so moving toward in that way you just spoke, because y'all aren't really.
Listen, first of all, I'm very grown. Okay. And after being involved in what I was involved in and all of the experience that I have had with men in relationships throughout my adult shit, from a teenager, I became a mom at 17. So from all of the relationships that I've ever had, right now, tally that all up right now, where I'm at. Less small talk, more bag talk.
Listen, you just out here. Listen, you just
because I don't got time for the bullshit. Exactly. If a relationship blooms out of a vibe, then I'm here for it.
What it is.
And I'm not going to turn that down. I'm still a woman. I still have a heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm not bitter. I'm not scorned. I'm not hurt. I'm evolving. I'm growing. I'm blossoming. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am still living for me at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Will I be okay with a man to lay on his chest and be by his side and cook and clean and suck some dick and all that shit? Absolutely.
Of course.
But I'm not looking for that straight out the gate, because I just came from that. Even before I met the guy that I was just with for 10 years, I had the same mindset. And look what happened. I had boyfriend tatted on my finger. I got it removed. I got all the tats on my hands laser removed. But I had boyfriend tatted on my finger. And the reason for that was because I was forever single. And why would I need a boyfriend when I already got one wrapped around my little finger, right? This was a lifelong decision for me. It was a tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
I got into a relationship that ended up lasting for over a decade. And within that time, I got the tattoo removed because I had to call my own bluff. I fell into something that I wasn't not prepared for. I fell into something that I wasn't looking for. Okay. And look how long it lasted. So here we are, hit the reset button. I'm in that same mind frame. I'm not out here looking for when I meet a guy, hopefully he's the one. Hopefully we get married. Hopefully he want to do this. Hopefully he want to do that. Nah, I'm here for a good time. And if it end up being a long time, then it could be a long time. But a good time to a bitch like me is a little bit different than what some might be used to. So, maybe that's where the intimidation comes in, where they look at how I'm living and how I'm moving and be like, I don't know if I can keep up. But, you can keep up. I mean,
Definitely.
not everybody, but I'm sure there are a few out there that can keep up, you know.
Definitely. Listen, I hope these niggas is paying attention. Hope they listen to that whole just little whatever that we just went through. Gave you this. She just
You
gave
know,
you.
again, I'm just speaking my truth.
She just gave you the game plan. All right. So before we move on, so now I do want to talk lip service. Before we move on, do you have like a favorite episode, like your most memorable episode, or just somebody that if I had?
There was so many.
And
Like
it's a lot to
we've
pick
done,
from. So
we're probably up to like 300 episodes now. So I can give you like not a favorite, but I can give you an assortment of ones that would make that category. Way back in the beginning, my very favorite episode was with Drika and Kevin Gates because that was our first couple. We was lit. They was very open about what they do and how they get down, and I just, it was it was a vibe. Again, that was in the beginning. I want to say French got drunk and let us go through his phones, and we love French. French is already a friend, a family. You know what I'm saying? Like French is already a friend in the room.
I remember that episode.
Yeah, French is already a friend in the room, so we had a really good time with French. Trey, of course, that's my bro. So we told some old family stories from back when we used to live together, and that was a cool vibe. Plus, he's again a friend of the room because he already know Angela and Stephanie as well. Trina, we love Trina. Trina gave us a really good episode. She ain't want to leave again. That's another friend to the room. Chelsea Handler. That's a great episode. DL Hughley, he kept calling me side baby Gigi because I told him about how my mother
came on there.
was in my Wale, that's the homie. That was like a therapy session. It's so many. I can tell you, I like when we have couples. I like when we have married couples. I like when we have couples because it brings a different dynamic because we get, both at the same time. Normally we're talking to the guy or the girl and they're speaking on their relationship. Exactly. But when we have them both at the same time and they're speaking together, about their relationship and that type of thing, it just brings a different dynamic for sure. I also enjoy when we tour. Our live shows are always lit.
Yeah, man, I gotta pull up, man. Well, whenever.
Well, now. But when we did our Live Nation tour, we started, our kickoff was in Philly. That was one of the best shows.
I know. I was
we ended in Chicago. Chicago was the best out of the entire tour. Chicago was hands down the best show. But New Orleans was lit. The Bay was lit. I just like the interaction of the crowd and like being able to really just like be one with the people and have them, participate and answer questions because doing it in front of cameras is one thing with a couple of people in the room, but interacting with the viewers in real time, it just makes it a whole different
situation. Nothing like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say one of my favorite moments, I think, was I think I had Rick Ross on. And I remember him and Stephanie was going through it the whole episode. And you had told the story about giving like a guy a hand job, and he just couldn't believe it. Like that nigga.
I did not suck that man dick. I really gave him a hand job with a lot of breathing and a lot of spit. It was really close to my mouth, but I swear I never put my tongue on his penis the whole entire time. He couldn't believe it. And then L'Oreal was fucking with her smart ass. She kept fucking being on his side and talking shit. It was fun though. That was good. We actually all went out. Well, Stephanie didn't go, but we all went out to dinner after that at one of our favorite spots in New York. Julan.
Yeah, that episode was hilarious. Episode with Mano was hilarious. It was a lot. Like I said,
we love Mano. Mano done been there like 4 or 5 times. Oh, you know who we love? We love Black Youngster. Shout out to Black Youngster. That's the homie. That's the homie of all homies. And rest in peace to King Von. That was one of my favorite episodes too. Usually when we have the little rapper guys, not being stereotypical, but how we look at a young rapper.
Yes.
Like not the brightest bulb in the chandelier, not the most experienced when it comes to love and relationships. They put on that persona of, and sometimes I'm cool on a lot of them, but Von was something different. And from I think I said it during the episode, like, yo, I fucks with you. Like, you smart, you got your head on your shoulders. Like, you come off as one way, but in real life, I can see by having this conversation with you, you a totally different type of young man, and I respect that. So yeah, I really took that, hard when he passed away because, from that day on, I really I fucked with Von for real. And we interviewed Asia as well, so I kind of fucked with both of them, and they spoke on each other in the interviews. So man, rest in peace to Von. That shit was crazy. And it happened in Atlanta.
Yeah, just a tragic, just 2020 as a whole is just, in 2021 to it just was a lot going on.
Man, listen, I'm
So
waiting on the aliens.
that's next. That's gonna be the filler episode. That's gonna be the filler episode. I'm trying to tell you.
I'm waiting on the
That's
aliens. The
that.
aliens finna drop down in 21. Like, what's good, homies?
I ain't, that's not that shit not even an afterthought at this point. So
I
speaking
mean,
about,
what else can happen?
let's talk about, okay. So you just being a dancer and your career as a dancer.
Mhm.
How just starting out, like what prompted you? What made you want to get into the just being
Oh man. Um, Long story short, I was homeless.
hmm
I had not like living on the street homeless, but like not having my own
right.
homeless. I was living with family in an undesirable situation. I was grateful for the situation, but I was basically in my god sister's unfinished, dusty, dirty basement. It was musty, and it was one of them basements. A Philly basement that's not
Yeah,
finished,
definitely. I know.
dusty,
I've been
dirty.
there in those situations too.
I had to make it what I made it. For me and my daughter. I was 19 at the time, and a funny story that goes along with this is I had actually just did a run to Jamaica as a drug mule, and I swallowed 20 grams of heroin, and I had 12 and a half, I'm sorry, pounds of weed in a suitcase. And that's what I got caught with. I actually got away with the heroin. I got arrested of that whole thing. That's how I ended up doing the bid on Rikers. But I say all of that to say, I thought that Jamaica run was going to bring me to a point where I could get my own. And I looked at the money that, again, I was 19. So I looked at this money that I was about to get like it was way more than what it was. And when I did get it, of course, I didn't get it all because I didn't bring everything back, but I did end up getting the money for the dope, and it didn't get me any further than where I was already at, for real.
Right.
So now I was like, shit, I done did this. Now I got a fucking record. Like I got to go back and forth to Queens for court every month until, I get this probation or whatever they going to do. I had the Jamaicans watching me because they, they know what I was going to do.
Uh-huh.
And it came to my attention that Delilah's existed. I had no idea that there was clubs like that. Now, mind you, this was in January of 2000. So this was 21 years ago. This was a long time ago. Delilah's was still Delilah's, but it was a little nicer back then. You know what I'm saying? It was a little more upscale. It's still upscale. Still as about as upscale as you can get. Well, now, I ain't seen Sin City, but in person. But Delilah's was that, and so that's where I started. And that's why I started. It was definitely a life changer. I was definitely able to rise above the basement and and get my life back on track.
Together, right.
It changed my life in so many different ways, and it taught me so much about human nature, and it taught me so much about being a woman. It taught me a lot about relationships and respect, and just it's a different world, and you really only know when you experience. You can go in a strip club every single day of your life and still don't understand what goes on behind the scenes. You could date a stripper, you could talk to every stripper in the building, but until you walk in them shoes, you never really gonna understand in real life how that shit is and what it does for you as a woman, what it does for your self-esteem, good or bad. You never really know until, and we all go by our own experiences. Everybody ain't make it out like China and Amber and me, and you know what I'm saying? Like everybody hasn't had that, that out. Everybody hasn't had the same, nobody's actually had the same exact experience. We all do it for our different reasons. We all do different things while we're doing it. We all do different things with our money. We all have different exit strategies. Everybody's life and their path is what they make of it. I will say that when I left Philly, I wasn't dancing anymore. I was bartending. And when I came to Atlanta, I had no intentions on becoming a dancer. I wanted to bartend, but I talked to, I had a friend of mine that was working at Magic City at the time. And by sitting in there, she talked me into doing the amateur night contest. Just for shits and giggles and, for the tips, for real. I really was doing it because whatever money you got to keep. And then if you won, that was an extra 500 on top of whatever you made on stage.
City, why not?
So I did I was scared as fuck though. Cause I hadn't danced in 2 years, but I was I was mostly nervous because at the time I was 110 pounds in the A cup. So I was like really small, really skinny, no titties. And, but my skills, like I wasn't, these bitches was thick with big old asses but they couldn't do what I could do. And I did not know that until it happened. I got on stage and I just let loose, with my talent. And I was in the zone and it was a whole vibe. And I actually, not only did I win the contest, I actually made history that night because up until now, they don't even have the amateur night contest no more, but I was and still am the only dancer that has ever been offered a position to work at Magic City from the owner himself. When I won that contest, that man walked up to me and said, I need you on my stage every night doing that. And I wasn't dancing and I didn't want to dance. And I told him, like, I want to bartend. And he was like, nah, you want to do that. I need you to do that. So that was actually the first history making moment I made at Magic City. The next would be when I became their very first feature performance set. It was before the snack pack. It was the GiGi and Fear show. 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Me and this other girl went on and did our little 1-2 step. That created her moving on, and the snack pack was created from there. Another history making moment I made at Magic City was the last dance. I was the very first dancer to have a retirement performance party. And I called it the last dance because it was a play on flash dance and it would be my last time dancing on that stage. I had a whole flash dance theme with the money drop and that whole thing. But it became a thing. Like right now, I can show you a picture of my phone. Just last week, I was scrolling through the Explorer page and I saw a flyer on this girl's page that said like Candy's last dance. Like that's a thing now.
Yeah, it's a
like
thing.
when a girl decides to leave the club, she has a last dance. Like that was not a thing. I was the very first person to do that. And I named it Last Dance as the name of the party, not what it was. And it just, it just went. It's crazy. Like I started that not even knowing that it would turn into what it turned into today.
Exactly.
Wow. That type of shit is like mind blowing. That type of shit is like, I did that? Like little old me.
And I like hearing these type of experiences from women, preferably because it's a lot of women that's in that field and need to hear the encouraging stories of how they may be in similar situations like you. People like to push like a false narrative on strippers and just
man, people want to say that we uneducated, we hooked on drugs, we don't take care of our kids, we homeless, we sleep on couches and air mattresses.
Just a bunch of dumb shit.
And we suck dick. Let me tell you something. Everybody suck dick, for one. For two, the 99.9% of the time, a stripper is making her money on her feet and not on her back. Okay? If she's smart enough, she know that most of what you gonna make on your feet, he ain't even trying to give you to lay on your back. So if you can't double what you just, you know what I'm saying, then why is we even talking? Like, if you ain't really coming with the bag for real, then what is this conversation about? Exactly. And people don't realize that. I did an interview with, what's her name? DJ Dior Cartel.
DJ Dior, that's my guy.
DJ, right. So I did an interview with her about a year ago. Matter of fact, it was at the State Property Reunion concert. She caught me backstage real quick and we did a little impromptu video. And she asked me if I believe that 99% of the strippers in the strip club is doing a little something strange for some change. And my answer still stands. No. Yes, everybody do what they do. But I know so many girls that's nurses and CNAs and bank tellers and retail workers and hairstylists that suck way more dick and do way more hoe shit than the stripper hoes. Like, that's real talk. First of all, we want too much money. These niggas ain't trying to kick that check the way we need that check. We make too much money doing nothing for me to take your little $500. Just your little $500 gonna do for me. That's gonna buy me a motherfucking pair of strippers. That's gonna pay my grocery bill for the month. Like that. Come on, like doggy, my car insurance $500. Like what's that? What's next? Like.
Yeah, I look at it more so if they want to more than if they need to do it. Like if that happens more, it's like they totally do it. It's something they wanted to do. Like
and guess what? And ain't nothing wrong with choosing, no matter what you do in life. If you a dancer or if you a goddamn nail tech, if you choose to suck some dick and do a little something strange for some change, then guess what, baby? Enjoy that shit. Because I mean, especially if it's good, that's a win-win. You got some good dick and a check. Shit, you winning, bitch.
Listen, man, listen. That's why I say all the time, listen. So I need that's why people like you, like I want to have you on just to tell your story. And like I said, because there's going to be women that hear it and listen, they're going through the same thing. They may be the ones in the basement of their god sister crib or they grandmom crib. And
Listen, I was 19 with a
going
2-year-old, and all I had was the clothes on our back. That was what I started from.
sometimes it's all you need, and just uh the will to just want to work your way out of it. Like I said, you was caught in jam and you ain't let that shit stop you at all. You worked your way through that shit.
Using my talent. Exactly. I come from a dance back. I went to FLC. I was a dance major at FLC. I danced since the age of 4. Dance school, ballet, tap, jazz, all of that since the age of 4. So the performance part of it was a no-brainer. I'm extremely talented when it comes to that part, which is how I made it to be such a popular dancer to begin with. Mm-hmm. Look, that's how I won the contest. I ain't win the contest because I was the thickest with the biggest booty. No. I won the contest because I had the most talent. I was the skinniest with the most talent. I danced to Michael Jackson, Wanna Be Starting Something. These bitches was lean with it, rock with it, on that type time, shaking all them big old asses, thunder clapping and shit. And I was twirling around on the pole, dropping the splits, flipping upside down. They ain't know what the fuck to do. They lost their goddamn mind.
See, man, listen. Skill, talent.
I used my talent. Now, did I take my clothes off? Of course I took my clothes off. But I'm strong enough to have that confidence within myself with no cover. You know, I'm that comfortable within myself. And at 19, 20 years old, I was that comfortable with myself as a woman to do what I had to do to provide for my child. And that's how it started. But then it turned into, this the best hustle I've ever seen. This the easiest. What? I get to drink and talk shit to niggas all night and get complimented. And you know what I'm saying? And this, of course, you take the good with the bad. It's not always rainbows and motherfucking peaches and cherries and shit. But at the end of the day, it's more good than bad.
Man, when you do it right and use it right, it opens more doors. And here you go
absolutely
build a relationship.
And besides the bag, I'm gonna tell you, besides the bag, because of course that's the best part. Mm-hmm. Besides the bag was the freedom. Besides the bag was the fact that I was an independent contractor. Okay, so that meant that I come and go as I please. I don't have no schedule I gotta stick to. I can take a vacation for 3 months and come back and still have a job. They're gonna be like, damn, we missed you. Where you been? How was your vacation? Where'd you travel to? What'd you do while you were gone? Try being the goddamn bank teller at Wells Fargo and leave for 3 months. Bitch, you ain't gonna have no job when you get back. And you ain't even gonna get no unemployment or nothing. Oh. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like I lived my life the way I wanted to live my life for a very long time. And that was one of the best parts of being in the entertainment industry, is that, and the fact that I could go in so many different places and pull up and work. It was a travel opportunity as well. I worked in Miami, I worked in Charlotte, I worked in Virginia, you know, I worked up and down the East Coast, Atlanta, Philly, New York. No, I never worked in New York, but I worked a lot of different places. And again, you can't have a regular 9 to 5 and just get up and say, oh, I want to go to Miami for 3 weeks. I'm gonna just work there.
No,
it's the freedom.
Some people ain't that confident enough, or just scared to take that risk though, to just feel like, you know, but that's just gonna be, that's when we're gonna separate.
You know what it is? It's confidence, and it's also people be scared of other people's opinion. People would rather starve. People would rather go hungry and struggle because they worried about what the next person gonna think of them. Mm-hmm. Opinions don't pay my bills. And listen, I got into an argument with a guy that I was dealing with when I first started my OnlyFans page, because he felt like the woman that he dealing with shouldn't be on OnlyFans. When I started my OnlyFans, out the rip, I was making 8, 9, 10, 12, 15,000 a month. You gonna run that up? Yeah. 10 bands for the month, and I'll stop the page. But as long as you not coming through with what I'm, you know what I'm saying, you're not trying to replace what you're trying to make me lose, then guess what? I'm comfortable with what I'm doing on that site. I ain't no porn star. I ain't out here sucking dick. I know better than that. No, you just I'm being sexy, and I'm giving a little razzle dazzle. You know what I'm saying? Swipe up, log in if you're trying to see what I'm doing. But you know, hit me with the subscribe. But the content that I'm giving, I know that it's the internet. I know that people take pictures and screenshot and screen record and save and all of that. I understand that. That's why I am in control of what I post. I post what I feel comfortable posting. I post what I feel comfortable giving to complete strangers. If I feel comfortable giving these titties that I done paid $12.5 for to complete strangers, guess what? I done showed these titties to so many motherfucking complete strangers in my lifetime. What fucking difference do it make if they got a picture of them? If they got a video of me rubbing baby oil on them? They paid for that. And they paid way more than these niggas was tipping in the strip club. My price is high. Exactly. It might be cheap to get in, but once you get there, baby, you're gonna have to spend a little change to get something exclusive from me. And I'm comfortable with what I'm doing.
Exactly.
And that OnlyFans bag, listen, that OnlyFans bag.
Listen, man, these niggas are paid to watch you put a sheet on your bed. Listen, I ain't mad at anybody going on there and
yes, they will. They pay for any and everything. Okay.
I ain't mad at nobody using none of that. So yeah, man. So let's kind of you talk about your career and your as a dancer. Let's now talk about your show that's on WeTV now.
Yes, Beyond the Pole season 2. Okay, so for those who don't know, Beyond the Pole is a show on WeTV. It was started season 1 was filmed about 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. WeTV just picked it up and aired it maybe last year or 2019, right? Mm-hmm. So it was a little bit outdated already. And me personally, not to bash the show because I'm a part of it now, I did not love season 1.
Okay.
I watched it because, for one, it was a show in Atlanta about strippers. Why would I not watch that? Exactly. For two, one of my friends that I started dancing at Magic City with way back in the day, Angel Cake, was a cast member. Okay. So I decided to watch. What I did not like about the show is, for one, I felt like a lot of them bitches was lying about their lifestyles and how they living and what they doing and moving and shaking. I did not believe what a lot of them were saying. And for two, Coach Stormy, I felt was being like a mean girl to these girls. And she explained on the show how she was raised with tough love and that's how she giving it. But it's like, you catch more flies with honey. You catch more bees with honey than vinegar. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to catch flies with all that shit you slinging, and you don't want that. You know, every time they were like, she was supposed to be coaching these girls that were dancers into entrepreneurship. She was supposed to be coaching them through their transition from adult entertainers to entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. And none of that got done. Every time she linked up with these girls, it was a fight. It was an argument. Girls was leaving out. Girls was pulling up and realizing what they was about to get into and not even showing up for the scene, leaving. And nobody got anything accomplished. It just was, it wasn't a shit show, but it was not shy from a show. I got the opportunity to come on season 2 because I actually met the EP when I did a panel for BET back last September 2019. It was a panel with the EP of the show and a few of the cast members. So me and her had a conversation. She knew who I was from my time here at Atlanta, Magic City, and that whole thing. And I told her, like, well, I'm about to actually move back to Atlanta in the next 2 weeks. And, you know, I heard y'all got renewed for season 2. So if you need me for an appearance, a cameo, any type of situation, I'm here. Link up. And she's like, okay, that's good to know. I wish I can get you as a cast member, but they want girls who are still dancing and you are long removed from being a dancer. And I'm like, all good. I'm a retired OG. But again, if you need me for any scene, any appearance, anything, you know, I'm gonna be around. So, you know, link up. So then OnlyFans, when she saw on Instagram back in April that I was posting that I had OnlyFans, she contacted me and she's like, you dancing again? And I'm like, nah, I'm busting it open on the OnlyFans a little bit, but I ain't in nobody's club. And she was like, well, you know, we're halted on season 2 right now because of the pandemic. We were supposed to start filming, but, you know, production got halted because of the pandemic. So the network has decided to do a quarantine episode in which the cast is going to be self-filming, and it's kind of like a where are they now? How are these dancers making it through the pandemic? How are they making money with the clubs closed? That type of thing. Mm-hmm. So I was originally only casted for that, but after like the very first scene in which the entire cast was on a Zoom call and we had like a cocktail party, I got a call from the EP that same night, like, welcome to the show. Like, you have just made yourself a cast member of season 2. Welcome to the show. So, you know, the network, they like what I gave and they offered me a permanent position on season 2. We actually just wrapped filming, which was crazy in itself because of the pandemic. We have been COVID testing 3 days a week. We COVID test 3 days a week. We film locally in Atlanta, but it has to be all closed sets. We filmed at our houses and, but at restaurants, it's like everybody got a COVID test. It got to be a cold set. Can't really be in there. So that was a little challenging. And the most challenging part was when people would get positive tests, we would have to shut down production for a full week. So that pushed us back 4 times. And each time that somebody got a positive test, it was a producer and not a cast member. So it was kind of frustrating. I know it's running. It was kind of frustrating because it's like we're doing all of this to try to stay COVID free. We're taking these tests. We're not going out. I put myself back on self quarantine because I feel like if I miss a scene because of COVID, I miss an episode, I miss a check, we ain't missing no bags. So, I made sure that I wasn't doing too much. I wasn't traveling. I wasn't going out. I wasn't putting myself in a predicament where I might test back positive. But here we are having PAs and here we are having crew testing positive, and that pushed us back. So, but we're wrapped, and it's coming this spring. WeTV, Beyond the Pole, season 2. The difference in this year and last year, without giving away too much, is that nobody's in the club anymore. We are all already bosses. We are all already made that transition into our next walks of life.
Okay.
And, it's all about women empowerment. We're not there to put each other down. We only here to lift each other up and help each other be stronger in numbers, and the quarantine episode premiered in December. Okay. It's currently on demand for anybody that wants to go watch it. WeTV on demand. And season 2 is crazy.
Crazy.
It's crazy. It's 9 cast members, 2 of which are from season 1. So it's basically a whole new cast. Again, none of us are dancing. So it's a whole new premise to the show. We're not really trying to get out. It's more of a in the day of the life for these girls that's all doing their thing. And we're representing for the entertainment industry in a way that has not been done so far, because it's always being put out there in the movies and on media as a negative thing. And we are here to show the positive side, like we the bosses.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we educated and we got businesses and we own houses and we take care of our kids and we, doing what we supposed to do, getting these bags and generating this income, turning hustles into hobbies. And it's about showcasing that side of it. But it get dirty too. It get spicy.
It is reality.
It get a little messy.
That's what you want to see.
It's a couple beefs. It's a bitch I don't like. Excuse me. From season 2, I don't like that bitch. Everybody know I don't like that bitch. Run it. Man. So y'all gonna see that. Of course, I'm too prissy and pretty to be fighting, but I will definitely read a bitch with my legs crossed and a curtsy. Okay.
We need the Philly to jump out you, GiGi.
Baby, because let me tell you something. Never home, but always repping. Okay. Cheers to that. Philly will always be my home. I'll never live there again because you motherfuckers is crazy. But Philly will always be my home. I am a John. I'm an uptown John to be exact, to the day I die. Okay. You heard?
I appreciate that. Listen, I'm from South Philly, so listen, we here. That's why I had to connect with you, so we can just get this out of the way, man. And I do appreciate you for coming on and sitting down, taking the time out to join me on this episode. Like I said, can't thank you enough. Man, I'm gonna make sure, me and my girl, we're gonna tune into this to Beyond the Pole. We're gonna watch
Beyond the Pole, WeTV.
I can't watch it alone.
Spring. We got 10 episodes. We got a full 10 episode series coming season 2. Hopefully season 3 will be right behind it. I think we gave the network enough that they're gonna bring us back.
Hopefully. Well, season 3. Just added another view. I'm gonna be tuning in.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
And again, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Go holler at your girl on OnlyFans.
There you go. Yeah,
I'm money link in my bio. I'm also, we didn't talk about this. We talked about enough, but I'm also in halfway through this book. I got this book coming about my life and experiences. Again, I'm not telling nobody's business. I'm only telling my truth. So, it's a lot to me that people don't know. Like you ain't know that I got locked up coming from Jamaica with 90 pounds of heroin.
I was even scared to even talk about
90 grams of heroin in my stomach.
Yeah, allegedly out there. I was gonna make sure I put that allegedly. I didn't know where.
No, it happened. Listen, I did my time. Well, they never knew the system never knew about the dope. I took the dope back to the Jamaicans, but I did my time for that weed they found on me. I ended up doing a little young bid on Rikers Island because I violated my probation. But I served my probation. I paid my restitution. I was 19 years old when this happened. I'm 41. Like that's I didn't been my passport didn't been flagged. That flag has been lifted. Like I'm good. I'm Gucci. We can talk about it. Statute of limitations is up. We could get all into it next time.
Yeah. But no. So when you expecting the book? Is it finished or?
I'm about halfway through. It's still untitled though. Like I can't think of I don't know. I feel like it's gonna come to me. I feel like the title was gonna come to me, excuse me, at the right time, and it's gonna be exactly what I needed to be. I was stressing out about it in the beginning because I got like this untitled project that I'm working on, and it's like I need a title, I need artwork, I need to do pre-sales, but it's like I can't just make it anything. Like I gotta feel what it.
It'll come to you organically. It'll come to you.
So I'm working on this book, and man, sky's the limit. Who knows what's gonna happen for your girl next? I'm happy. I'm so happy to be back in Atlanta. No shade to Philly, but the opportunity
I gotta come out. I gotta come
upon
out
me
there, man.
being here.
I'll start weekend. I might be in Atlanta.
I cannot have foreseen none of this, and especially if I would have stayed in Philadelphia. Moving to Atlanta in my adult life twice has been two of the best decisions that I've ever made in my life, because each time it was life changing, and it is what it is.
Trust me, you aren't the first person to express that. I'm pretty sure you won't be the last, especially coming from here. There's literally there's a foundation there is just refreshing. I just was there recently a couple months ago before I decided to let me sit down and calm down. But I was out there, and I say I definitely got to come back because I got some people that's gonna be out there for All-Star Weekend. So
nice.
Yeah, I come out here, so I'm definitely looking forward to being out there. And again, I do appreciate you for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me talk my shit.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So yeah, man, make sure y'all follow GiGi, subscribe to OnlyFans.
To Beyond the Pool coming. Lip service be dropping weekly.
Lip service, definitely lip service.
Shout out to Zelion for our new sponsorship contract with lip service. I keep this by my side, you know what I'm saying? Keep a little reposado.
Make sure y'all send me, listen, Tom, need a bottle. We need to work.
I got you when you come to the A.
Oh, I got you. I'll definitely make sure I hit you up, let you know. But so yeah, man, appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all tune in. And thank you again.